Kilalanin natin ang official new and improved complete lineup ng San Juan Knights this 2026 Mpbl 8th season. Point guards: Orlan Wamar Jr., homegrown player, 5'6", 150 pounds, 28 years old, 11.8 points, 4.2 rebounds, 7.6 assists, 1.7 steals, 29% 3-point shooter, 76% free throw shooter in 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Royce Alforque, 5'11", 165 pounds, 26 years old, 3 points, 2.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 0.8 steals, 20% 3-point shooter, 61% free throw shooter in 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Ace Soberano, ex-PBA player, 5'11", 168 pounds, 32 years old, 8.3 points, 1.4 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.8 steals, 45% 3-point shooter, 93% free throw shooter in 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. JerAve, new player, 6 feet, 155 pounds, 25 years old, 8.8 points, 1.7 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1 steal, 35% 3-point shooter, 73% free throw shooter in his 2024 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. Shooting guards: Nico Panganiban, homegrown player, 6 feet, 170 pounds, 29 years old, 5.8 points, 3.3 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 25% 3-point shooter, 36% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Terence Forti, new homegrown player, 6'1", 158 pounds, 24 years old, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 38% 3-point shooter, 88% free throw shooter in his 2025 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. Harold Alarcon, new player, 6'1", 162 pounds, 24 years old, 14.2 points, 4.1 rebounds, 2.9 assists, 1.3 steals, 37% 3-point shooter, 77% free throw shooter in his 2025 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. Raylan Torres, new player, 6'1", 165 pounds, 24 years old, 7.5 points, 3.1 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.3 steals, 22% 3-point shooter, 66% free throw shooter in his 2024 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. Small forwards: Michael Calisaan, ex-PBA player, 6'4", 200 pounds, 31 years old, 12.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.9 steals, 65 field goal percentage, 68% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Kenneth Villapando, 6'2", 180 pounds, 27 years old, 3.1 points, 3.1 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 0.8 steals, 30% 3-point shooter, 51% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. James Quecote, new ex-PBA player, 6'2", 182 pounds, 27 years old, 2.9 points, 1.3 rebounds, 0.5 assists, 0.5 steals, 36% 3-point shooter, 50% free throw shooter in his PBA 50th Philippine Cup averages. Patrick Kisliat, new player, 6'2", 185 pounds, 25 years old, 15.4 points, 4.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.1 steals, 32% 3-point shooter, 57% free throw shooter in his 2024 Mpbl 6th season averages. Power forwards: Reynel Hugnatan, ex-PBA player, 6'4", 210 pounds, 47 years old, 3.9 points, 4 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 11% 3-point shooter, 77% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Aldrich Ramos, ex-PBA player, 6'6", 190 pounds, 37 years old, 5.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.6 blocks, 26% 3-point shooter, 90% free throw shooter in 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. John Paul Boral, new player, 6'4", 200 pounds, 24 years old, 10.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 0.7 blocks, 62% 3-point shooter, 71% free throw shooter in 2025 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. JerAve Nunez, new player, 6'5", 205 pounds, 24 years old, 5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 50 field goal percentage, 60% free throw shooter in his NCAA 100 season averages. Centers, Dexter Miquez, ex-PBA player, 6'4", 220 pounds, 35 years old, 11.8 points, 6.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 33% 3-point shooter, 65% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Raul Soyud, ex-PBA player, 6'6", 222 pounds, 35 years old, 9 points, 6.4 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 0.5 blocks, 84 field goal percentage, 63% free throw shooter in his 2025 Mpbl 7th season averages. Jamel Puno, new player, 6'6", 225 pounds, 24 years old, 14.2 points, 5 rebounds, 0.2 assists, 27% 3-point shooter, 76% free throw shooter in his 2025 Pinoy Liga Cup averages. Mike Phillips, new player, 6'8", 220 pounds, 24 years old, 13.2 points, 15.7 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.2 steals, 55 field goal percentage, 60% free throw shooter in his UAAP 8Th season averages. Ito ang official new and improved complete lineup ng San Juan Knights this 2026 Mpbl 8th season. Anong team ba ang gusto nyong makilala ang lineup nila ngayong 8th season ng Mpbl? I-comment nyo na po yan sa baba.